Welcome to CPU The Brain. How much is too much? In today's episode, I'll be showing and talking about memory, what it is, how it works, and how much is too much. To start with, memory can be broken down into two different types, long-term and short-term. To go deeper, short-term memory is like RAM in computer speak, being used to transport and save memory that is needed in the close future. It is thought that repeated practice can save things in the short-term memory, and it does. But in doing this, there is little that gets through to the long-term memory bank. Speaking of long-term, this one is more like the hard drive, storing thoughts and memories for months up to lifetimes. This memory can cause emotion and enhance them, including curiosity and excitement for learning new things. This process is called long-term potentiation and is made with the electrical stimulation in the brain. It usually takes 5 to 6 hours for a skill to become embedded in the brain, but if the storage process is interrupted, the primary lesson will be completely forgotten. To commit something to long-term memory, you need repetitive study and routine. Thinking of committing things to memory, can memory loss be actually caused by anything? Memory is neurons sending electrical signals, so increased voltage to the brain can disrupt signals, changing or removing memories entirely. Electric shocks have increased neuro damage depending on the voltage of the shock. Alcohol is another thing that affects short-term memory, as the chemicals involved slow down how the nerves communicate in the hippocampus, disrupting short-term memory, often associated with blackout drunkenness. Stress can also interfere with memory storage if it's prolonged over a period of time, as can anxiety, because if one has experienced a particularly traumatic thing, the brain will try and forget it to bring relief to its person. Other things that can cause memory loss include alcohol, as I said, old age, concussion, and electric shocks. Now, the question you've all been waiting for. How much storage can the brain have? Storage with the brain is usually measured by the amount of memories, and as we've discussed, memories are quite confusing. Scientists haven't fully worked out how memory works or things like that, but it is believed that memories were stored and recalled by a chain reaction of neurons. But recently it was found that memory is when from 5,000 to 10,000 neurons fire all at one time. There is more than one type of memory, as I've said, which adds to the capacity, including factual and motor skills. We all know signals in the brain are electrical, but how much power is there actually? Well, if each neuron emits 0.07 volts, not much compared to a AA battery with 1.5, but when we times that by the around 10 billion neurons, the number racks up to around 7 million volts. And with 7 million volts, you can power around 58,333 toasters, or charge 368,421 laptops on a 9-volt charger, which is normal. That is a lot of power. If you can go back to thinking about the hippocampus, this is where memory is made and encoded, located in the inner region of the temporal lobe, which is responsible for your emotional actions. The hippocampus's input is from a group of neurotransmitters called serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine. A procedure in 1957 to prevent epileptic seizures from a man, his hippocampus was removed, which actually prevented him from being able to make and store new memories, in particular factual and event-related ones. This resulted in him thinking that he was 18 for the rest of his life. One final thing before I end today's episode is, how can you remember things better? If you imagine or associate memories and things you want to remember with waypoints or objects which you know very well, can help it stick in your memory, as proven by Greek auditors, noted for a skill in public speaking, when they needed to remember points in great speeches. Another way is using mnemonic systems to remember things. Pairing words together and possibly adding a tune can make people remember clearer, but some research have believed that a type of rote, repetitive practice won't 100% work for most people. Spaced repetition also helps by reviewing the thing to remember over a period of time as not to succumb to the learning curve, the time it takes to forget something. Using flashcards over different intervals until the memory has settled completely and there is no need for the flashcards. Thank you for listening. This took many hours of work. Thank you.